Hello and welcome to another Tyrrell's Classic Workshop. We're out and about again this time at the Brooklands Museum down in Surrey, and Brooklands is a place that's steeped in British history. It was where a lot of early development of aeroplanes was done. A lot of things. It used to be a working airfield with the banked racing track around the outside. Just a really interesting place. But I'm sat in the cockpit of Concorde here, one of the Concorde aircraft, and this is a stupendous achievement. It's possibly one of the most, if not the most, remarkable engineering achievement of the 20th century. The ability, nobody came close. I mean, the Russians tried with the Tupolev Tu-144, but that had various problems which it worked and it flew, but it was not able, as this one was, to fly passengers day in, day out between London and wherever at twice the speed of sound, something like 1,300 odd miles an hour. And this particular aircraft went up to 69,000 feet. Again, you're getting into cosmic ray territory. The pilots had to actually take turns at flying the aircraft because of their exposure to cosmic rays. It had to be brought under control. I mean, really pushing the edges. This is a civil airliner, not a military aircraft, pushing the bounds of technology to the absolute limit. And this aircraft succeeded in that for many, many years. It flew it day in, day out, as I say, not just a one-off. 120 odd passengers to wherever. A tremendous achievement which has not been equalled before or since, 50 years on. So I'm sat here. It's a great privilege to be in the pilot's seat, unleashing 4 Rolls-Royce Olympus engines at one stage, and this great long snout in front of me, this huge nose, which of course lowered for takeoff and landing. But the reason I'm here is to celebrate engineering and bringing the next generation on. So we and France could do this in the early 1960s, but where are those skills now? Even in my sphere, the classic car world, it's something that I'm becoming increasingly impassioned about, is bringing the next generation on. As a few people have commented in the videos that they want to see the next generation coming on. Where are the youngsters who are following in my and lots of other people in the industry's footsteps? So I'm here at Brooklands because there are various skill centres here. I'm going to be meeting some of the people who are involved in that today, and just discussing how these people are coming on. And it's vibrant. There are a lot of people doing it, which is a massive encouragement to me. I've got some young people, I'm pleased to say, in the business who are coming on, but it's a real eye-opener and a real encouragement to see that it is being so actively pursued, and that engineering such as this, the skills don't just fall off the edge of the world and are irretrievably lost, but there's some way of even, some of the skills cross over between aviation and cars and things like that. So it's great to keep the skills alive. So this video today is something I'm very, very impassioned about, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, here we are at the Heritage Skills Academy, and this is one of the organisations that really does bring on apprentices, and some very clever people have set this up, and some very clever people are continuing to bring on apprentices and actually keep the organisation, keep the wheels of industry running for future generations. And I have a future generation in front of me. The more observant amongst you will notice that she's slightly younger than me.
Just slightly.
Exactly. This is Grace, who is, and you are one of the Coachbuilder instructors.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about the Heritage Skills Academy.
So we have 2 sections on our coach building program. We have the mechanical side and the coach building side. We run the main body of the mechanical program is run out of Bicester Heritage, but today you're here with us at Brooklands Museum, and we have the Coachbuilding side, and we also have a couple of mechanical groups that are based here as well.
Right.
So behind you you've got HSA 8 who are doing electrical work, and they have, this is one of their 32 blocks. The course takes 3.5 years to complete. They all are employed with a company relevant in the industry,
Right.
and that's the same on the Coachbuilding side. The course is the same
Gotcha.
length, we just have different content, different blocks relevant to the industry.
Okay, excellent. And now what does HSA 8 mean? Is this the 8th year that people are coming through, or that's
So
something?
this is our 8th cohort of apprentices. So we currently have 17 on the mechanical side. So that's 17 groups of young individuals. We have 12 students in each group. So this is our 8th group. So they're about sort of halfway through their apprenticeship.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
This is something I'm becoming really passionate about, and to know that number of people who are being invested in and also investing in this industry moving forward is very reassuring to all codgers like me, you know.
Well, most definitely. There's an ageing workforce inherently in the industry, and so it's so important we get young people interested.
Right.
We get them building up the skills they're going to need to follow a career in this industry.
Exactly.
And it's not a 1 year thing. You can't learn it all in a year. It takes time, and so that's why our course is 3.5 years long. They come down on training with us at their site for approximately 9 weeks of the year. The rest of that time they're at their employer.
Yes.
So it's sort of, we try and get the balance right between the employer finding their investment is worthwhile, but also we deliver relevant training that they might not be able to give at their workplace. If they're working at a specialist, for example, they might not get the scope of the industry, whereas we try and fill in all those sort of gaps.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, well let's take a look around. Ageing workforce. I'm a member of the ageing workforce.
Well, I have to say, we don't have an age limit on our apprentices at all. You can be any age. We even have some mature apprentices who start from sort of mid-30s up to their 50s.
Mature.
They fancy a change of career,
Right.
or they just found an inherent interest in the industry. So it's not 16-year-olds
Okay.
only.
I might apply myself.
I think you'd love it.
I think I would, actually. Just a small matter of a business to run and a few other things. But
Yes,
hey.
compromise.
Yes, yeah. So first of all, we're going to your specialist subject, the coach building department, aren't we?
Yes, I'm going to show you around the coach building area we have behind us.
Okay.
And I'm going to introduce you to Andy and some of the apprentices.
Excellent, let's go.
Okay, so this way. So we have a Spitfire chassis that they're currently working on, fabricating some pieces for.
Yep.
And then you can see some of the equipment and our apprentices working on the block this week. So
Wow.
doing joining methods, so we're doing a little bit of welding and a few other sort of techniques that they're going to learn as well.
Fantastic, all busy bees.
Yes, definitely. And here we have Andy Kelly, the tutor
Hello.
of this week. So here in the coach building area, we have a lot of different tools and equipment. We try and keep it as relevant to the industry as possible. So these are machines that you will find at most workshops, and a lot of our students are familiar with. They're just slightly different makes and models, but we've got things like fly press.
Fly
You can
press.
see English wheels behind us, guillotines, folders. We've got some bucks that we work on, and also bench tools. Bench and hand tools are a massive part of the
Yes.
industry. Learning
Sure.
how to use snips efficiently, marking out correctly, those fundamental basic skills are what we start with on the course. So for these apprentices who are 4 weeks in, they're slowly building up that skill level.
Okay, all right. Let's just have a look at the English wheel, because this is a very interesting and intrinsic part of coach building.
Most definitely, sure.
Okay.
The English wheel is a stretching machine. So when you put a piece of material in between the two anvils, you end up with a stretching effect. So it'll effectively thin the material, and as it thins it, it stretches it and
Yep.
forms it over whatever shape anvil you've got in the bottom. The top wheel is fixed. It acts as a weight load, and then this is what you adjust the pressure with, the pressure wheel on the bottom. Variations have it on a foot wheel, but you know the fundamental sort
Right.
of shape is the same.
And this is an old piece of kit, isn't it?
Yes, this is a Ranelagh. This is a very classic type of machine.
So when is this from, Bruce? Do you know?
I don't know the exact date. Sometimes they do have it on their little plate, but this one is sadly
It's got to be
quite corroded.
1950s, hasn't
Oh,
it?
at least, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
if not
yeah.
earlier, yeah.
So it's older than both you and me. It's
Yes.
refreshing to find something that's older than me. So, okay, right. And can you show it? Have you got anything that's been wheeled that you can show us easily?
Yes, so the Cobra wing that is hanging up there,
Yes.
that will have been created on the wheel.
Isn't that wonderful?
This front Dino buck, that will have
Yeah.
been all made up in the Ferrari factory from using wheeling and then welded together. There are some wheel arch panels here. Excuse the fact they're a little bit dusty,
No, it's all right.
but this is one of the projects our Coachbuilding apprentices make later on in the course with a wired edge.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
So we start them off with these sort of skills as well,
Right.
small pieces.
Gosh, that is a work of art. It
It's,
really is.
We try and get them obviously to as higher standards as possible, and we have some guest tutors that come in and help us as well.
Right.
Really specialists from the industry who give
Yeah.
up their time, and they help us refine all of these skills for them.
Fantastic. That's beautiful. Okay, thank you very much.
No worries.
Well, I'm going to meet James now. Hello, James.
Well, good to meet you.
And you are one of the mechanics on the
Yes.
the Heritage Skills Academy scheme.
Yep.
So, how have you found it? How is it?
I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to work on something slightly more interesting than run-of-the-mill cars in a run-of-the-mill garage. So yeah, the focus on the specific skills you need for it's
Right.
really good fun. Yeah,
It's
I like
it's an entirely different discipline, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. So
First principles, in a way, really.
yes, I mean, but it's still applicable on just about everything.
Yes.
You learn the more simple side of it on something like this, and you transfer it all the way up.
Yeah.
So it's still a good foundation for just about any mechanical knowledge, really.
Absolutely. That's the point. And where are you up to in your studies? How far along the line are you?
So we're just about to finish our foundation section. So this is our last week here in foundation, and then we'll be moving on to advanced, where we go back over the stuff we've done previously, but in more detail.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, well, I wish you every success.
Thank you very
really.
much.
And it's great to see people like you coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right. Thanks, James.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
And of course, we can think about welding as well, can't we?
Most definitely. So we have TIG welders,
Yep.
we have MIG welders, and we do also teach gas welding, so oxyacetylene. This
Right.
was the first welding process that was ever used on sort of historic vehicles.
Yep. And there's a set of cylinders
Exactly.
behind you.
Yes, we do aluminium gas welding and steel gas welding as well. We
Right.
also do brazing, so it's not technically a welding
Excellent.
technique, but we do cover all of those.
Right. And resistance welding, spot welding as well.
We do have spot welders.
So
yes.
you've basically got everything covered, haven't you?
That's the aim. Yeah, that's what we really
That's
strive
fantastic. So there's nothing you can't. No, this is a very broad brushstroke thing to say, but essentially this is all the old. I mean, welding went through different generations over time, as cars were manufactured through the decades. But you've got it all covered, basically.
Yes, so we do include the traditional methods, those kind of skills, techniques from
Yeah.
the early sort of stages, but then we do bring it up to the modern classic era, following advancements in technology as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's important that our apprentices learn that side of it as well and know sort of where it came from and where it's going. And you know, things like laser welding that are coming through now, we touch on it. It's not something we'll ever be able to show on site, but they need to be aware of the industry.
Well, we're now going to meet somebody who's on the coachwork side of things, and that's Sam. So good to meet you, Sam.
Good to meet you, Ian.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into this? How you find yourself where you are now?
Yeah, so I grew up around cars. I always intended to get into classic vehicles. I'm from North Devon, so there wasn't a lot of options on routes to go.
Right.
And I've been looking for a course like this since I was 16. I'm lucky enough to get on it in the last year.
So you're going to stay in the industry all your life,
Oh,
potentially.
Yeah,
Isn't that
hopefully.
wonderful?
Yeah.
And whereabouts are you on the course conveyor belt then, for want of a better way of putting it?
So we're on block 4.
Right.
So it's weekly visits, so the 4th block will come up here.
Right. And otherwise you're working at a company, are you?
Yeah, so I'm a company down in Barnstable in Devon.
Right. And what particular part of the coach work, you know, is it fabricating, welding, that kind of thing? What's your particular...
I really enjoy all of it,
preference?
if I'm completely honest. Fabrication's quite new to me, and I'm really enjoying learning to put things together. I've done quite a bit of chassis work at work, which is enjoyable,
Right.
satisfying work. I really look forward to learning to use the English wheels
Yeah.
and actually recreating panels that otherwise you can't get. So
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, very good luck.
thank you.
It's, you know, very refreshing to meet all you guys and meet people who are so dedicated. So
Yeah,
keep
thank
up
you.
the good work.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Just for reference, these are the outriggers they've been making. So this week, this is what they've been fabricating.
Oh, right. And which are these for this Spitfire chassis?
These are a generic, there's their drawing. So it's just
Oh, I see. So they're working to drawings.
yes, on
Isn't
this
that
one.
wonderful?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then they make the template and then they scale it up.
Oh, I see.
So not to scale and all that. So that's just what they've been making this week.
Excellent. And that's a combination. Well, these are spot welded, aren't they? Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
They've done,
Yes.
they've done a pretty good job. I mean, for their fourth block, I mean, they're picking up some pretty
Absolutely.
good skills.
Great. Great
Yeah.
to see.
No worries. And then there's some weld samples there. What
Oh, I
they've been
see.
doing.
Yes.
Some we do teach them to BSI weld to weld to BSI standard. So these are all the different. They do the crush test as well. So just so you're aware,
Right.
sort of.
Yes. Because a good weld should be as strong as the metal itself.
Exactly. So it should break down the side. It shouldn't break on the actual weld.
Exactly. Wonderful. Wonderful. Can't beat learning on the job.
No, 100%. Practical skills are the key. So just a little bit about what the mechanical apprentices are doing this week.
Yes.
Doing a little bit on electrics, a bit of testing. So we've got the bonnet up on this Morris Minor here, and they're currently carrying out different tasks over their week here for sort of fault tracing, and then also repairing and
Right.
fixing.
I'm seeing all sorts of things. A
Yes.
Rover V8, a
Yes.
Saab,
Yep.
a Ford CVH.
Yes.
Gosh.
We try and use as many variations of sort of when they do the engine blocks, we try and show the scope of what they might come across in their workplaces.
Exactly.
So 4 cylinders. We also have some motorbike engines that are hanging around.
Ah.
So we try and cover everything they might ever possibly need.
So one thing I'm getting here is a real sense of family and passion. We can only obviously skim the surface with the video.
Yeah.
But you know, you and everybody here is exemplifying the spirit that is very difficult to capture, but very tangible for me walking around.
Yeah.
You're obviously very passionate about what you do.
Most definitely. I think coming inherently from industry and falling in love with what I did and the skills that I was learning and sort of practicing, it's important for me that they get passed on to young people. And what I see is a rising and increasing standard from the apprentices themselves.
Right.
They always want to improve. They always want to get better. And that's very rewarding for me, while still being relatively young in my journey in this industry. When they're picking things up sort of straight away, it's really great to see, and they're the stars of the HSA for sure.
You're being very, very modest, but okay. Thanks very much indeed,
No
Grace.
worries.
Thank you. Well, that concludes another Tyrrell's Classic Workshop video. The next one will probably be back at base, but in the meantime, I've got a little bit of a job to do before I next see you.